is a data center proposed in Prosper. It is about 38 acres at the southeast corner of FM 1385 and Parvin Road. And the public hearing in front of the Planning and Zoning Commission is August 18th. I am recording this a few days before that hearing. And as far as I can tell, almost nobody in Prosper knows about it yet. It was first reported on August 7th. Now, I want to be careful here because there is a version of this video that gets a lot of views and helps nobody. 3 or 4 channels in this metro are running data center scare headlines right now. That is not what this is. I went and read the actual research on what these do to home values, and the honest answer surprised me. I also went looking for data centers proposed in Frisco, Celina, and McKinney, and I want to tell you exactly what I found there too. And there is one thing about how you get notified about any of this that I think every homeowner in North Dallas should know. And almost none of you do. So here is what we actually know, and I'm going to be very clear about where each piece comes from. From the reporting, which is Community Impact on August 7th, the developer is White Rose Partners out of Dallas. The site is roughly 38 acres at the southeast intersection of FM 1385 and Parvin Road. The design is closed loop. It is under review by the Planning and Zoning Commission, and the public hearing is August 18th. Prosper's Development Services Director, David Hoover, told Community Impact that staff raised concerns and the developer addressed them. Now, the developer also runs a public website about the project, and it makes a lot of specific claims. They say the facility is not hyperscale and it is not crypto. They say it will use closed-loop cooling, roughly 110,000 gallons a year. They say they are self-imposing a 65 decibel limit at the property line. The building will be about 40 feet tall on less than 20% of the site, with about 30% green space and tree rows. They say 500 plus construction jobs, 20 to 50 permanent ones, and $1.3 to $3.4 million in taxes. I want to say this plainly. Every single one of those numbers comes from the developer's own website. I could not find one independently verified. That does not mean they are wrong, but August 18th is the meeting where somebody should be asking who verifies them. Now, the part I think a lot of you actually came for. I went looking for data centers in the other cities I work in. Frisco, nothing. No proposal, no approval, nothing under construction. The headline going around is for a Trader Joe's, not a data center. Celina, nothing. McKinney, nothing. Allen has data centers, but they have been there for years, and I couldn't find a single new proposal. In Plano, 2 residents asked for a moratorium. The council had no agenda item on it and took no action. So as of today, there is exactly 1 data center formally proposed anywhere in this corridor, and it is the one in Prosper. If somebody tells you a data center is coming to Frisco or Celina, ask them for the case number. I could not find one. There is also something bigger happening. In the first week of August, Governor Abbott ordered a statewide audit. He directed the Public Utility Commission and ERCOT to verify project tax incentives, power use, and community impact. Projects that do not comply must be denied connection to the grid. His words were, simply put, Texans must come first. The scale is worth understanding. That queue holds roughly 474,000 megawatts, and 90% is data centers. Now, I have to be precise, this is not a moratorium. Texas did not pause data centers. It is an executive directive for enhanced oversight. The same caution applies to Fort Worth. Its zoning commission voted to deny the moratorium in July, and the city canceled the next presentation. Denton is further along. Their council voted to move toward a possible moratorium, with a final vote scheduled for December. Now the question everybody actually wants answered: what does a data center do to your home value? I want to give you the honest version. There is not a lot of research on this yet, and none of it is peer-reviewed. What exists is working papers, some paid for by data center companies. The best designed study I found is from Alex Priest at the University of Rochester. He used Virginia air permits to compare home price indices. His finding was that the effects are economically small and slightly positive, excluding substantial price declines. The second is from researchers at Brown and UC Merced, published just this week. They looked at 341 large facilities nationally. They found rents slightly up, but they were careful to say the result was not statistically significant, describing it as suggestive. The third is from George Mason University. They looked at 2023 home sales in Northern Virginia and found homes closer actually sold for more. Their exact conclusion was that the analysis fails to demonstrate statistical evidence that proximity negatively impacts housing values. But I want to give you the caveat that the study's own co-author gives. Terry Clower points out that this is correlation, not causation. Data centers go where infrastructure already exists, and that same infrastructure is what home buyers value. Average does not mean everyone. Every credible study done so far has failed to find that data centers lower home values. That is not the same as proof they are harmless. Now, let me argue against myself, because if I only gave you the reassuring version, you should not trust the rest of this video. There is a town in Texas where this genuinely looks bad: Granbury in Hood County. Home prices there fell 8.2% over the year. Local agents there say homes near the facility are hard to sell, and some million-dollar homes are not selling at all. 9 owners filed a lawsuit. That sounds like it settles the question. I do not think it does. First, the facility in Granbury is a Bitcoin mine. It is not an AI data center. Second, nobody has isolated the data center as the cause. Third, Hood County is 70 miles away, and the lawsuit is active litigation. Here is the gap that bothers me most. Every study measures at the zip code level. Not one can tell you what happens 500 feet from the fence. So if home value is not the thing to worry about, what is? 3 things in the order I would actually rank them. Number 1 is noise, and it is the most legitimate by a wide margin. It comes from cooling equipment and periodic generator testing. Industrial generators can hit 105 decibels. Cooling towers can run up to 70 decibels at 400 feet. Here is the surprise. The EPA's noise office was defunded in 1981. Noise is regulated entirely by local zoning ordinances. That is exactly why the August 18th meeting matters. That room is where noise limits get set, or do not. For comparison, the Westlake project near Keller has an ordinance limit in the range of 49 to 56 decibels, with the nearest home about 506 feet from the building line. Number 2 is water. Every data center in Texas today uses less than 1% of the state's water. Manufacturing uses about 7%. But fewer than a third even responded to the state's water and energy survey. That is precisely what the governor's audit is meant to fix. Number 3 is your electric bill. In Virginia, rates rose roughly $11. In Texas, there is no credible evidence rates have risen. under Texas Senate Bill 6 in a grid emergency ERCOT can cut power to the data center before it cuts power to your house. Now, the thing I most want you to walk away with, and it applies whether or not you care about data centers at all. Under Texas law, the city has to mail notice to property owners within 200 feet. That is about 2/3 of a football field. If it is a quarter mile away, the city is not required to send anything. That is exactly what happened in Keller. The city was following the law. So do not rely on the mail. Do these 3 things instead, and they take about 10 minutes total. 1. Subscribe to your city's planning and zoning and city council agendas. Watch for planned development and rezoning to industrial. 2. Look at where the substations and high voltage lines are. The Prosper project sits right next to one. That is the single best predictor. 3. Watch the tax incentive agenda, not just zoning. Abatement and economic development agreements often show up before any rezoning does. And if you want to know about something specific, call the planning department and just ask. They will answer your questions. So where do I actually land on this? I am not against the Prosper project and I am not for it. I am a real estate agent, not an engineer. What I can tell you is what the evidence says. No study found data centers lower values. Plano and Allen have had them for a decade. A University of Texas poll found 56% of Texans oppose a data center in their community. I know where you are on this, but it should be an informed one. The hearing is August 18th. That room is where the noise limit and setbacks get decided. If you want, send me your address and I will tell you honestly whether you are anywhere near this site. Free, no obligation. Contact is in the description, and in the comments, tell me which city you are in and if you had heard about this. I want to know who this reached.